All right, welcome back to One Piece Chapter Review, chapter number 1132, titled Adventures in Elbath. Going in on Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, we see they're going towards the Udon Castle, and it's actually being rebuilt into Udon Castle being rebuilt at the old prisoner mine, which, hey, that's good. Um, I know like teching is very big on like, oh, here's all the parts of Wano and what they all are. That flew over me. I apologize, but yes. Excuse me. Uh, I probably should cut that out, but fuck it, we ball. As the great Eric is returning, we see as child Colin who yells out, "Hey, you're back! Are you gonna stop in for a drink?" As Dory, as I believe that's Broggy, makes a giant X with his hands and says, "Nope! How come?" As we see, as Colin was the Giants kid who was basically like Luffy maxing with talking to Shanks when Shanks was here on Elbath when Kid came, and we see that this village is on the first level, but it's like generally in a very good place, and Colin starts complaining that they're heading straight upwards, and um his let's see, and someone at the bar who's the person who runs it is like, hey, take this basket with you. Some of Ripley's favorites are in there, and I also packed some food for your father too. And so yeah, he goes and goes to run off to go up to the upper levels of Elbath. They approach a rainbow, and and everyone's swooning over how beautiful it is. And Dory explains that with this device they have called a Sunstone Painter, they're actually able to ride up the rainbow to go straight from the first level to the second. We've got this funny thing as Bonnie, who, reminder, has an imagination based power, says, what is the ship sailing on? A rainbow is nothing but the refraction of light through water droplets. And Dory's like, Gapapo, what are you talking about? Dory and Broggy yell in unison, rainbows are meant to be crossed. I just find that so fucking funny. As, this little kid. So, first off, you would think that if anyone would accept going on a rainbow, it'd be a little girl. Especially one who can make imagination reality. But no, she's like, no, I know science. This is bullshit. And Dory and Broggy are like, science? What the fuck is that? It's so funny. But yeah, they're riding up. There are two ships. I forget where the second ship came from. I don't know. They also separates. I think it's just like a part of the Great Eric. They have like leave and look. I a little bit lost track. I'm not gonna go back to like the end of I'm not gonna go back to like the end of Egghead to try and figure out exactly what's going on. But yeah, cut over to the bridge between the realm of the dead, the first layer, and the realm of the sun, the second layer. And we see that Luffy is no longer in front of Loki, but is instead being carried by Gerd, who's just like, oh, humans, you guys are so cute. Just to be clear, Road is fucking creepy. He has a creepy way of like treating humans cute and like dressing them up as dolls and keeping them as slaves. I just think humans are normal cute. Like, I'm not as weird as him, I swear. Please, don't be weirded out by me. I love Gerd. Anyways, uh, they're talking about, oh man, it's so awful what Road did, and Goldberg's like, hey, you were at the bottom level of the country, realm of the dead. What were you doing all the way down there? As Luffy starts sweating bullets and says, we see a flashback with him and Loki talking, and we didn't see how the conversation with Luffy and Loki went, but we now see the ending bit of the conversation as Loki says, "Remember, our deal is a secret, so don't say a word about our meeting. Got it, Luffy?" Oh, you know. Oh, well, you're awfully sweaty even though it's freezing. Anyways, just glad you're okay. But yeah, going up to the second level as road is closing in and basically, um, like lunges to try and grab both Nami and Chopper, and he is looking creepy as fuck and has a lot of heart emojis when he's talking. Uh, a tree which Zoro cuts falls down on top of him, clamping his hands to the ground as his head rams into the log. And then Sanji puts his foot down at the top of the tree in order to like hold it in place. And as they are walking away, actually, that contradicts something later. As they're walking away, a Goldberg and Gerd just take out their weapons and just whack the shit out of Road, call him a freaking weirdo. Sanji starts simping for the giant lady. She introduces herself, and they're going to the village. Right around the corner. We get an explanation from Dorian Broggy that Elbath is in 3 levels. The bottommost level at the bottom of the tree is a mountainous region called the Realm of the Dead. This canopy around the middle of the tree is called the Sun level, and then right at the top is the Heaven level, which, as of where we're at in the story right now, we don't actually really know anything about. We get this amazing double-page spread showing off a city here on the Sun level, as tons of buildings, and off in the distance we see a giant castle. We have this little flashback of Luffy and Usopp, I assume back at Little Garden, just like arms over each other's shoulder and dancing, talking about going to Elbath. You guys, someday, I swear, I'm going to Elbath, to the village of the warriors. All right, Usopp, let's do it. As we see Luffy happy and Usopp sobbing that he's finally here. We see the reaction of all the Straw Hats, as well as Lilith and Bonnie. And in addition to that, on these pages, we're seeing quotes from a person. I'm going to loop back around to those quotes. Straw Hats reunites when Luffy, Chopper, and Usopp see the people riding the rainbow. They do that surprised expression Oda loves, with the jaw open, tongue pointing out, eyes poking out. The whole scare sugar pose. And they all reunite. One of the last panels, we see a man in a casa hat walking near Bear, I think on the Sun level. I'd like to talk about this man, but okay, so we know that there is an one shoot Robust. There's a cover page with Crocus on chapter chapter 631, where he is drinking with a man in a casa hat and striped clothes. Now, the manga is not in color. Later, the colored version of the manga colored it similar to Shiki's coloration, with a orange and yellow jacket and a blonde hair. But we don't know what the Casa Hat Man is actually colored. We know that Shiki is canon, as he does appear in to be a member of Rox's crew, and we have seen that the guy who previously had Bon Clay's fruits could transform into him, as seen in the Odin flashback. But the movie Strong World is not canon. This man with the Casa hat right here is likely the man who was talking to Crocus, of which there are two prevailing theories. That either Casa Hat Man is Shiki, that, following the events of the Rocks Pirates disbanding at God Valley, Shiki eventually came to Elbath, and instead of doing his whole Strong World plots, instead is just on Elbath, which, come on, there are so many Strong World references here, it just makes sense. Or that's the person that Crocus is drinking with is Scopper Gaban, the third most important member on the Roger Pirates. And one thing pointing towards the is there's been Scopper theories forever, partially because you have one member of Roger's crew at the start of the Grand Line, one member of Roger's crew being Crocus, one member at the middle of the Grand Line being Silver's Rayleigh. It's likely that there's one member of the Roger's crew right at the end of the Grand Line near Laugh-Tale, and the most important member who we know nothing about is, of course, Scopper Gaban, which I personally am of the opinion that Scopper Gaban is the man marked by flames. Now, we have the Casa Hat individual and the man marked by flames. It is possible that I think Scopper is the man marked by flames. I think Shiki is the Casa Hat guy, and I think that the Casa Hat guy here is Shiki. Now, we are going to be getting many cameos from this individual later on. As of 1138, we do not know his identity, but it's likely we're going to learn it next chapter. Hecking 101 is full on board that Casa Hat guy on Elbath is Shiki the Golden Lion, and Grand Line Reviews believes that Casa Hat guy is Scopper Gaban. I believe that this is Shiki the Golden Lion, but we will come to see. Looping back, we get these quotes in little title cards. It is such a sight of enormity that it stuns all visitors. Most fail to find words that adequately describe its immense grandeur. They call it the Kingdom of Warland. It resides on the massive Isle of Elbath, hence its more common moniker, Elbath, Land of the Giants. From the mighty trees to the gentle flowers, from sea to sky to land, all life on this particular island is so huge it takes one's breath away. To those who seek adventures, I concede it would be a great shame to turn away from this marvelous land. However, if nothing else, I implore you to keep this one piece of advice in the back of your mind. Should you venture out and arrive on Elbath's vast and mysterious soils, heed my simple warning. If I could only write one thing about this enticing nation, it would be this. Do not linger there for long. Louis Arnault, explorer. This is the second time we have heard of Louis Arnault. The first being that he wrote about Little Garden. Now, I want to say, an explorer writing about Little Garden. Oh, he made it to the Grand Line. That's impressive. Louis Arnault made it to fucking Elbath. We know that, I'm wanting to say we know that Louis Arnault was there after Dorian Broggy. So in the last one at Little Garden after Dorian Broggy. So in the last 100 years, but we don't know like how far back besides that being said, is it possible Casa Hat Individual is Louis Arnault? Especially because we see Casa Hat Individual right after. Oh, yeah, also, shoot, I remember in Egghead we also did see some images of Casa Hat Guy, like, on Elbaf, but look, I kind of forgot about that. But yeah, Casa Hat Guy is either Louis Arnault, Shiki the Golden Lion, or Scopper Gabon. Also, it's any of those could be the man marked by flame, but I think that that Scopper is the man marked by flame. Though Scopper could be the Casa Hat Guy and the man marked by flame. Which, if you don't remember the epithet of the man marked by flame, he's the one who has the final road Boneglyph. Oh, but yes, that is it for chapter 1132. Tune in next time for One Piece chapter 1133, titled Praise Me. See you guys then.